In this lesson, we will learn how to find all of the factors of a number. Remember that factors are numbers or quantities being multiplied together. Knowing your divisibility rules will be very helpful in finding factors of a number, as it gives us a few shortcuts when we are looking for certain factors. In this first example, we have 36. Our objective is to find all of the factors of 36. We want to find all the different ways we can multiply two whole numbers together to get 36. We will start by dividing 36 by 1. 36 divided by 1 is 36. That means we have our first set of factors. We have 1 times 36. Now we're just going to go down the list of counting numbers. I have the divisibility rules here for some of the special cases, but we will still need to check for some of these missing numbers like 7, 8, and if we need to, we go past 10. We have our first factor pair. We have 1 times 36. Now let's check for 2. We want to see if this number is divisible by 2. This number is an even number. That means 36 is divisible by 2. And we're going to find out what that number is. 36 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time. 2 goes into 16 8 times. That makes 2 and 18 another pair. We want to check to see if this number is divisible by 3. We're going to do the test really fast. If we add 3 and 6 is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. That means I'm going to do some work to check what 36 divided by 3 is. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 two times. We have another factored pair, 3 and 12. We'll check for 4 if the last two digits are divisible by 4. At this point, we should be able to recognize 36 as a multiple of 4. We should know that 4 times 9 is 36. 4 and 9 is another set of factors. We'll check for 5. 36 is not divisible by 5 because it ends in a 6. It is divisible by 6 because it is divisible by 2 and 3. 36 divided by 6 is 6. That means we have our factor pair, 6 times 6. We can check more, but we will notice that we will start repeating ourselves. At this point, if we see that this factor is going to be more than the factor to its right, then we are finished finding pairs. For example, if we were doing work, we got to 9, and we are going to test this rule for 9. If we add 3 and 6, we get 9. 9 is divisible by 9. That means 36 is divisible by 9. So if we multiply 9 times 4, that is a factor set. We already have 4 times 9. We're going to start repeating ourselves, and we don't want those repeat factored pairs. So when we start repeating ourselves, that's when we know we can stop. These are our factored pairs, but to find the factors of 36, we just list each one of these factors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and we don't need to list 6 twice, even if we have 2 of them. We have 9, 12, 18, and 36. These are the factors of 36. Our next example is 48. We have these divisibility rules over here to help us determine quickly if 48 is divisible by these special cases. If it's not, then we don't have to do all the extra work associated with it. We see that 48 is an even number. That means 48 is divisible by 2. I'm going to go over here and check to see what 48 divided by 2 is. 2 goes into 4 two times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. That means we have the factor set of 2 and 24. Let's see if this number is divisible by 3. We have 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 is divisible by 3, which means we can go ahead and divide 48 by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. 3 goes into 18 6 times. That means we have the factored set 3 and 16. Next, we want to see if 48 is divisible by 4. We can check that, or we might notice that 4 times 12 is 48, but we can pretend like we don't know. 48 divided by 4, 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 two times. That means we have a factored set of 4 and 12. Next, we can check quickly if it is divisible by 5, if it ends in a 5 or a 0. This is not divisible by 5, we can go to 6. We see that it is divisible by 2 and 3. We know 48 is divisible by 6. If we're good with our multiplication, we know that 6 times 8 is 48. After 6, we have 7. If we know our multiples of 7, we know that 48 is not a multiple of 7. Our next number after 7 is 8. 48 is divisible by 8. We have 8 times 6 is 48. If we do 8 times 6, we see that we are starting to repeat ourselves. This factor on this side is now larger than the other factor. So I don't need to have repeat values. Well, I did forget the easiest one. We have 1 times 48. Good job if you caught that. Now we have all of the factors of 48. We are going to list all of these factors, and that will be the factors of this number. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, and 48. These are all the factors 48. Our last example of finding factors of a number is the number 96. We have the first factored pair. We have 1 times 96. I'm not going to forget it this time. Our next counting number is 2. 2 is a special case over here, so we want to check to see if this number is even. 96 is even. That means I can do some side work over here and divide it by 2. 2 goes into 9 4 times. 2 goes into 16 8 times. That means we have the pair 2 times 48. After 2 is 3. We want to check to see if this number is divisible by 3. We have 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 is divisible by 3. That means I'm going to go ahead and work this out. 96 divided by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 6 2 times. That means we have another pair, 3 times 32. After 3 is 4, we want to check to see if 96 is divisible by 4. This number is only made of 2 digits, so we have to do it by hand. 96 divided by 4. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 4 goes into 16 4 times. We see here that there's no remainder and it goes into it perfectly. We have another pair, 4 times 24. We're going to check for 5. This number does not end in a 5 or 0, so it is not divisible by 5. We check 6. If it is divisible by 2 and 3, then it is divisible by 6. And we see here it is divisible by 2 and 3. That means we need to divide 96 by 6. 6 goes into 9 one time. 6 goes into 36 6 times. We have another factored pair, 6 times 16. We need to check for 7. 96 divided by 7. 7 goes into 9 one time. 7 goes into 26 3 times. But it has a remainder of 5. That makes this number not a multiple of 7. After 7, there's 8. We want to check to see if 96 is divisible by 8. 8 goes into 9 one time. 8 goes into 16 2 times. That makes 8 and 12 another factored pair. Let's check to see if it is divisible by 9. We already did the work for adding the digits. Is 15 divisible by 9 evenly? It is not. We get a remainder of 6. We move to 10. If this number ends in a 0, this number ends in a 6, that means it is not a multiple of 10. We're not done yet. These are our divisibility rules. We still need to check for 11. If we know multiples of 11, 9 times 11 is 99. We have 8 times 11 is 88. 96 is not a multiple of 11. We can do 12. If we have 96 divided by 12, if we know our multiplication, we know 8 times 12 is 96. We have 12 times 8. But if we notice, we already have 8 times 12. That means we're starting to repeat ourselves. We have found all of the factors of 96. Now we just need to list them. The factors of 96 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32, 48, and 96.